Tim Bradley predicts Terence Crawford and says he needs to fight basically like Bivol. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Now, Terence Crawford versus Canelo seems to be, people are getting their predictions out. Tim Bradley on his channel, he did a video, and I want to go over some of his quotes. He says, quote, "This isn't going to be a fight where Crawford is going to run all night because he's not going to win this fight that way. There are moments where Crawford is going to have to fight this man," meaning Canelo. He goes on to say, "Back him up and put him on the defense. He's going to have to do it with combinations similar to what Dimity Bivol was able to do. You're going to have to do that," right? He says Crawford is going to win the fight on the back end like all of his fights. He's going to step up, bite down, and he's going to have to, Canelo is going to push him. Crawford is going to have to throw and let his hands go like he's never done before. So once again, I've already talked about this. If you remember, after I say it, just type "I remember" in the comment section. I'm the best in the business, and it's not even close. I don't like this fight. I think it's a horrible idea. I don't like the fight, never liked the fight. I've been very candid on this fight. I don't really care about it. Some people do, so I'm making content because people do want to hear what I have to say about it. And in my past videos, I have told you something very specific. A lot of the people that are public figures picking Terence Crawford, it sounds like wishful thinking. They don't sound very confident, and they don't sound very sure of themselves, like Mean Machine, like Jeff Horn, like Tim Bradley. They've all said different things about they're picking Crawford and they're favoring and leaning towards Crawford, but there's a bit of their diatribe and communication of why Crawford wins don't really sound like you're very confident that he wins, right? Like Mean Machine, he's like, Crawford should win, but Canelo blah blah blah. But I thought you said Crawford's gonna win. Jeff Horn, same thing. Jeff Horn was like, if Crawford can survive the first half onslaught from Canelo and basically not get knocked out, then he'll win the fight and he has the power to stop Canelo. Huh? Like, very weird. And now Bradley add him to the list. He's saying what Crawford, how he has to fight, and he's gonna have to bite down, and then he's telling him to fight like Dimity Bivol. I mean, like, what are we doing here? People are acting like this is Build-A-Bear, where you just build and like create the best prototype to beat the fighter that you've signed up to fight, right? So for Crawford, they're acting like it's Build-A-Bear Crawford, and oh, he just pulled from what Floyd did and pulled from what Dimity Bivol did and just put this in a gumbo pot and stir it together, and then you have a victory over Canelo. But it doesn't, boxing doesn't work like that, right? Floyd Mayweather is a completely different fighter. He showed you throughout his career, his resume is better, his defense is better, his IQ is better, he doesn't get hit as much. And then when he does get hit, it's because he's fighting elite people like Shane Mosley. We've seen Crawford getting hit by Mean Machine, Thierry Jean, Hank Lundy, like that caliber of fighter, right? So it's a big difference. And then as far as Bivol, bro, Bivol's like 6'1". He's like 6'1", and he has an Eastern European style with some bounce, kind of like Lomachenko, where he's very surgical, boop, 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 and then it gets out, boop, 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 and it's like a very rhythmic, you know, Joe Calzaghe, Lomachenko style display of boxing. And he's, like I said, 6 feet tall. He's pretty big, right? He's pretty big. He's bigger than Crawford. And the difference is Bivol fought Joe Smith Jr., Jean Pascal, 2 fights with Artur Beterbiev, right? He's a champion. He's been undisputed just like Crawford. And he's proven against very good names like Beterbiev that he can not get knocked out by a crazy puncher like Beterbiev, and he can carry the weight of 175 and still be fresh in the back half of the fight. For Crawford, different ball game. Crawford will be 38 in September, and he's jumping up all this weight, and it's uncharted territory, right? It's like, the best way to put it is, let's say an old traveler, explorer, like old world explorer, like Ferdinand Magellan or Christopher Columbus. You can't, if this particular part of the earth is uncharted and no one you know, because there was no like text messaging and Zoom meetings back then, right? No one you know had traveled to this side of the world and came back and lived to tell about it, right? So you really don't know what is over there, right? If you come to what is now known as America, you don't know what's going to be there if you haven't been there before. Now, Crawford's a great fighter, but I do have reservations and questions, like everybody should have, about being a great fighter at a different weight class in a sudden weight move. That's why I don't like this fight. You know what I mean? Like, you're bulking up. It looks good, but this is not a Creed movie where you just have to simply look buff for the cameras. You got to be able to be durable, have stamina, and all the attributes that Crawford has possessed and shown throughout his career. That has to be applicable with this added weight whilst getting punched by a bigger puncher, a guy who, you know, Crawford is a great fighter. So is Canelo, though. People are sleeping on Canelo like he's just some trash. Like, here's the thing. My opinion is different. I think if Crawford fought other guys like Janabek, or if he fought Carlos Adames, like guys at 160, those would be hard fights too, right? Let alone the best guy with the most belts at 168, who at least you could say you could say whatever you want about Canelo. Oh, he hasn't got a stoppage. He ain't stopped no one since Caleb Plant. He's fighting bigger people. The first time in a long time where he's actually fighting someone who is smaller than him or about his size. Last time it happened was like John Ryder probably, and he broke his nose and clearly won the fight. You see what I'm saying? And John Ryder's not even a good example because he again had several fights. He beat Caleb Smith, who's bigger than him. So he has the mass and the size, despite being short. You know, he still has been a proven 168 guy, unlike Crawford. So telling Crawford to fight like Bivol, I don't really understand. That's like telling me to tell Tank Davis, Gervonta Davis, to fight like Amir Khan. Bro, you're not Amir Khan. Amir Khan was kind of lanky. He was kind of taller than a lot of his opponents, right? And he has his own speed where he can throw in combination with speed. That's not inherently Gervonta Davis's style. That's why when you see people like Deontay Wilder and then they try to change their style up, it seems a bit off. Like, remember Wilder in some of his more recent fight with Malik Scott, he was trying to box too much. That's not inherently who he was. So for me, the thing is, Crawford has to basically become somebody he hasn't shown to be in a lot of his other fights, even the Errol Spence fight. So we'll see how it all plays out. But I'm still waiting for a breakdown where, to me, I don't care if you're picking Crawford. That's cool. But make it make sense. You just simply telling him to fight like Bivol, who's 6 foot tall. Crawford doesn't have Bivol's intangibles. So it's like, what? I don't get the comparison. Again, this is not Build-A-Bear.